What's up, and welcome back to the Kinda Funny podcast, a show that I very rarely, if ever, host, but I'm very excited to host this one today because I am Tim Geddes, and I'm joined by the Hispanic heartthrob, Texas Treat Latino Heat, clicking heads and ripping them to shreds, the globe-trotting, head-shotting Nitro Rifle from Twitch.tv, Andy Cortez.
Hello, Tim. It's good to be here. Just a little intro I thought of right now.
Just a little something. How do you feel about that, master of hype, Snowbike Mike?
Your boy is loving the music because Tim and Andy, I've been riding the high of Coachella, baby. It's Coachella weekend one.
Shit.
It's in the book, and I've been riding
shit.
it, bro. I've been riding it. Summer sun on my face, bands, music. What a lifestyle. What a lifestyle.
I actually do want to talk a little about Coachella, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. I want to first start off by introducing the final member of the podcast today. He has not been on this show before, but recently he was on the Kinda Funny screencast for the Everything Everywhere All at Once review. He is snapping back into action. It's Matt Batson.
Ooh. What up, everybody?
That kind of rhymes. That's cool.
That was good.
Stepping back into action. Matt Batson. Killed it, Tim.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for joining us on this. Of course, if you don't know Matt Batson, Matt, how would you describe yourself to all the trogs and best friends out there?
It's complicated. I would say I am a trog. First and foremost, I am a trog. I am a best friend. You may know me for running for Kinda Funny Up and Comer in 2020. Still running, by the way. It's still going on. So
we'll see about that.
Keep me in mind. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Okay.
I mean, we're looking for a powered forward for the basketball game in 2027. So
and that's been my angle this whole time.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
People didn't see the pandemic happening. I did. I saw it coming from a mile away, and I said, "Hey, I positioned myself right here, right now." That was my ulterior.
Wish
motive.
you would have warned
some
people.
Anybody?
Yeah.
No. Instead, I was gonna position myself to try and be a power forward in the inevitable basketball pay-per-view.
Love that.
I love that so much because, yes, of course, Matt Batson, been a best friend forever. I first met you, was it MomoCon back in the day?
Yes, it was MomoCon.
In 2015, which is a lifetime ago, it feels like, and ever since, Matt.
I was a child. I was a child then.
You were a legitimate child. How old were you? How old are you now?
I am now 25, going on 26 years old. And at that time, I was like 17, I want to say.
Insane. Yeah. Utterly insane to think about all of this. But also, since then, you've been doing a lot of stuff with us. You do a lot of the amazing TikToks that you see over on the Kinda Funny Games TikTok channel and all the social accounts. And also, Matt is in charge of our commercials, as we're calling them. As you've seen the amazing Nick Scarpino Karate Dojo shirt that you can get right now on kindafunny.com/store. Matt was out in the streets making sure that the people understood what's going down with Sensei Scarpino.
They didn't want any of it. They didn't want none. All right. They're scared.
Gotta get it.
Go get the
you know what else you're gonna get? The Kinda Funny podcast, because this is where each and every week 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather around these microphones to bullshit about all the things we want to bullshit about. Of course, you can get it on youtube.com/kindafunny or roosterteeth.com. If you wanted to get it as a podcast, you got to search your favorite podcast service for the Kinda Funny podcast, and we'll be right there for you. But if you wanted to get the show ad-free, if you wanted to watch live as it's being recorded, and most importantly, if you want the exclusive post-show, you got to go to patreon.com/kindafunny, just like our Patreon producers, Nathan Lemoyth, Delaney Twinning, Gordon McGuire, James Davis, Fargo Brady, Pranksy, and Anonymous have all done. We appreciate you all so very, very much. Today, we're brought to you by Credit Karma, but I'll talk to you all about that later. Real quick, there's a lot I want to talk about today, but I want to tell you guys a story about what's been going on in my life the last, couple months, and it's been the worst thing in the world. Little thing I like to call PG&E construction. I don't know what the hell these motherfuckers got going on, but all around my neighborhood, every single day, they just kind of move little by little, ripping up the streets and then going down, doing God knows what. It's probably helpful. It's probably something that's necessary. So
Ghosts
whatever.
Underneath the sewers.
You got to get them ghosts out. You got to bust them, right? Maybe it's the snakes. Might be the source of the snakes down there. They're out here destroying shit. Yes. They're just destroying shit, and Kevin's seen it. It's been a disaster. Anytime he tries going to my house, it's just been getting closer and closer to my house in particular. And this weekend, it was full out warfare on the Geddes household, where we had a knock on our door. Very rude, I might add. And they were just like, hey, we're just going to completely destroy your driveway. Is that cool? And I'm like, I don't think I have an option, do I? And they're like, no, we got to do it. And I'm like, all right. So surrounding my house, it's like, at this point, it's not even the street. It is like literally up to my house. They're just ripping out all the street and all this stuff. I'm like, this is so loud. This is so destructive. Of course, the dogs are losing their goddamn minds. Worst thing is they come in, start adding the concrete back to like fix it at the end of the day. And I'm like, at least you're doing that. And my dogs didn't walk through it. A dog that I don't like very much walked through the concrete, and it's now dried. So now for the rest of my life, this little punk dog that I do not enjoy at all's little footprints are in front of my house. And I'm like, it could have been Moose. It could have been Toretto. No. It's Saturdays, Kevin.
A lasting
Saturdays
legacy.
Oh, I knew right away who it was. And that's hilarious. Fuck Saturday.
I hate it. I hate it so much. It's a dog named Saturday.
Much like Greg got a tattoo on his forearm.
Mm-hmm.
You have a tattoo in your concrete. A dog you don't care about. That's pretty good.
Dog
Two
I
dogs
actively
that made
dislike.
big impacts.
Yes, exactly in my life and many's. But then today, as I'm dealing in the PTSD of this whole realization that I have to live with this for the rest of my life, I get a knock on the door a couple hours ago from my neighbor, and I'm just like, but a neighbor that I don't really talk to often. And I'm
dog got foot poisoning.
Oh my god! The neighbor goes, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing up on your deck, but the cable's falling down." And I'm like, "Excuse me, sir. I don't know what cable you're talking about. I'm definitely not doing anything, I assure you." And he goes, "No, it's in the street and like it's causing problems." And I'm like, what the fuck does this mean? So I walk upstairs and I look at my deck, and the power line has fallen. And it's just on my deck, swooping into the street, blocking any car from going by. And all of a sudden, this is my problem. I am being blamed. Neighbors from all around are coming around, pointing fingers at me, like, what the fuck's going on? And all of a sudden, the PG&E
how could you
guy,
do this to us?
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm the worst equipped person to deal with this, except for maybe Andy. I can imagine Andy handling this very poorly.
Pure panic plays. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not know what to do. Yeah.
And G is gone today. So I'm like, I'm the man of the house. You know what I mean? I'm like, I got to solve this. Don't worry, cool, Greg. I'll handle this. And I go out there, and the PG&E guy starts giving me shit.
Normally, G is the man of the house. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Just making sure.
Oh, yeah. You think it's me, Kevin? You know it's not me.
No. I thought maybe Toretto.
Yeah, there's many options. I'm definitely last on the list. But I had to talk to this PG&E guy. And like, you know, being in my position, I'm kind of thinking like, okay, y'all fucks are out here doing stuff that I didn't ask for, causing these freaking permanent dog footprints in front of my house. And now I assure you, y'all caused this thing to fall. I did not do it. I'm sure you did. And the guy's giving me attitude, like, hey, I'm going to need access to your deck. I need to fix this. And I'm like, first off, sure, I guess you could do this. But why are you acting like I did this, man? And he was like, hey, I'm going to be honest with you. It's our fault. I know it's our fault, but can you just work with me? And I'm like, whoa, like, where's this attitude coming from, buddy? Like,
are they and DMV people, do they train at the same places of like, all right, to be in this job, you got to be a fucking asshole?
Anti-customer service.
I have not been treated this way in a long time. And like, you guys, you can imagine how I handle this situation. I'm just panicking. I'm just like, is my place going to explode? Like, I don't know what those power cables are capable of. You know what I mean? Like, Kevin probably knows, but I sure fucking don't. And this guy's acting like I did something when clearly one of their things pulled this thing down, causing a hazard in the street that could potentially kill millions. I don't fucking know.
Or your dogs. Or your dogs.
Or the dog. Exactly.
That's the more important thing.
Saturday.
Mike, in that situation, I'd like to kind of go around and like, how would we try to solve this thing? Would you try to solve it? Would you try to ignore it? Because I'll tell you what, I would just straight up ignore it. I would pretend that it wasn't happening. I'd pretend that it wasn't my problem. I'd pretend I didn't live here. I might,
for sure.
Tim, I might go look for another apartment at this point, because this seems like something that I just would never want to deal with. Trying to deal with authority figures, it's like, I don't know what the problem is. Am I going to owe money? Can I somehow pay somebody to make this go away? Mike, what's your like first step?
Oh, I'd hide, of course. I've hidden from many of things. I once hid from Steezy Steve dropping off a birthday cake for me, and I
Right.
stared through the window at him, and he said, "Mike, I can see you," and I still just hid behind the window still. So I'll do the same thing there. I got nothing to do.
It was an illusion, Steezy Steve. You
Yeah,
didn't see me.
it's Steezy Steve. Wow.
That's actually the
That's
LeBron.
the cardboard cutout of myself that I hide.
I was gonna say it's
Just in case there's
the
intruders.
LeBron cardboard cutout, life-size LeBron one. Yeah, I would not be able to deal with that. Good on you, Tim. Good on you for being
Yeah.
an adult.
For sure.
I guess. I think it's solved. I'm not really sure, but if I explode live on camera, guys, that's
Let it
what's
ride.
going down.
That's
At
why,
least
that's
you
why.
know why. Okay. But Mike, you brought up Coachella. What do you want to talk about Coachella real quick?
Oh, just how much fun it looks, Tim. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, after years of watching, from the Tupac hologram to Beyonce burning down the stage, it's like, you know what, Tim? I'm at a breaking point where it's like, I need to go to Coachella. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I want to go to Coachella. And like, Coachella wouldn't be my first pick. I'd actually like to go to EDC, but I worry that my friend group couldn't handle 3 days of the Womp Womp Festival. So I think Coachella is the happy medium where everybody gets something special that they can latch onto and enjoy. But I mean, I got to give a massive shout out to YouTube for live streaming the first weekend every single year. You know, it's my favorite. Saw some good acts, saw some bad acts. But like, I'm just thinking, when is it my turn to go have fun in the sun, Tim? That's what I want to know. When is it my turn?
Dude, it's your turn anytime you want. You want to go
I
next year,
know,
Mike? We'll
I
make it happen.
know, bro. I'm thinking about it.
I
But,
just, I don't.
good.
It looks so weird in photos, Mike.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
every photo that I've seen, it doesn't seem like there's ever a musical act playing.
Mm.
Every photo I've seen is just like people looking
Ferris
hot.
wheel.
Yeah,
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 you
it's
gotta
like a
look really
Ferris
hot. That's
wheel.
the rule. Yeah.
It's just like it feels like when you go to Coachella, you have to have your Coachella fit, which is like,
and that's what it's all about.
it's an
I saw that.
unspoken rule, right? Like if you're going to go to Coachella, wear something you would never ever wear in normal everyday life. And I'm seeing all these influencers, and then I see like the levels above the influencers, right? Because to me, like I see streamers like Pokimane and Valkyrae out there, and they're looking incredible. And then I see people like Sydney Sweeney, where it's like, oh, she's a level above that in terms of celebrity. She's like, what sort of parties is she getting into? Because she's on
Yeah.
HBO, you know what I mean? She's not on Twitch. It's a different level of fame. And meanwhile, it's like, are they? I haven't seen them tweet about any musical acts. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a big get together, Mike.
Yeah, music's secondary when you're that level, Andy. And that actually got me thinking, which is a good point, Andy, right? I'm just a normie, right? I'm a general admission jabroni.
course,
Maybe
yeah.
I splurge, I go VIP. But what is above the VIP? Where's the Valkyraes and the Pokemones going? Where are the people even bigger than them
Lounges.
going? Because, yeah, exactly, Tim. They're not with me in
with the
GA,
people.
right? They're out in GA for a quick photo right in front of the Ferris wheel, in front of the cool spiral towel, and then they dip, right? They're not allowed over in the front because they would call it a ruckus. Where do they go, Tim? You're the master of events and hype. What special treatment do I get if I'm above the VIP?
Well, the thing is, Mike, is what happens is it's similar to video game conventions that we've seen, where there's the activations around the main activation, right? You'll have your Rockstar energy drinks, or your Monster energy drinks, or your Red Bull energy drinks. A lot of energy drinks at video game conventions.
Love that. Love that.
But they'll have their little lounges, right? And then they get the VIP people that are there, and then it essentially causes a meet and greet for those people. A lot of transactions going on. I'll bet you, Mike, we can work on some stuff. We can scheme some shit. We can convince someone around Coachella that Snowbike Mike is an important person in the community that needs to be there and needs to
You're speaking
needs
my
to
language.
needs to greet. You know what I mean? It's all about the influencers, Mike. You're an influencer. We
I
can
like-
make this happen. We'll get
And
you
then
in
We
the
just got to
lounges.
roll up
Make
with
it
the
happen.
entourage. We just got to have like 3 people with like earpieces. We have 2 people with clipboards, and you know, somebody just checking your outfit, just making sure like your collar's all nice. They swap out your sunglasses for you. Somebody's giving you water. There's people running around back and forth, and we can get you anywhere in Coachella.
The entourage arrives there day of. Where's Mike at? He's like, I didn't want to go. Didn't want to be.
Didn't want to go.
Far away, too far away.
You know, I got stuff going on. I got, it's Sad Boy Sean and Stinky Pete and No Face Frankie. Like, he's got no face. Like, there's all these different people that are just causing you to stay on. So that's understandable.
Yeah,
Understandable.
I want to do that, Tim, really bad. I think Coachella is next on my list because it always looks fun. I do want to give a big shout out right now to some of the set designs. Some people really went above and beyond. Vince Staple, cool little set design. Nice little rose shop. I like the flower shop. Big Sean, killer set design that he had going on. Doja Cat was a lot of fun. Harry Styles was kind of plain and minimal. All right, along with Billy. But I will say the Weeknd and Swedish House Mafia tore down the house when we talk about design and epicness. Oh, it was awesome to watch.
Yo, I gotta say, Billie Eilish's set though, like it was a pretty like scaled back set design and all that stuff, but I kind of liked that minimalism of it's just her. There's not like a bunch of different guests around her, no dancers or anything. It was just her. She brings out David Albarn from the Gorillaz. They did Feel Good Inc. It was incredibly hype. Like I'm sitting here watching it. I wasn't planning on it. Music festivals not really my thing. I do not ever want to go to Coachella. That sounds like a utter nightmare to me. To be standing there, not knowing exactly who's going up next. Someone comes on the stage, starts rapping for like 18 minutes. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, I don't know what the hell Daft Punk's going up. Like, it's a disaster. You know
I would love to see Tim in 2003 Warped Tour in San Antonio.
Yeah.
When it's 109 degrees, and for some reason we're wearing fucking jeans because we're fucking punk rock,
tight skinny jeans. Maybe there's some holes.
It's so sweaty and smelly, like in your asshole, and like you're there for you get there like at 9 in the morning. And you're leaving at 8 at night. Your feet are on fire. You're just like, I just want to get in a car with some air conditioning. And bear in mind, at 8:30 at night, it's still like 97 degrees. You know what I mean? Like, it's a fucking nightmare. But when I see the images of Coachella, it's like, that looks like the opposite. People, it's a nice 80 degrees, maybe 75 degrees out there.
I don't think
and it's not really.
It's in the middle of the desert.
So
I thought it was like more of like
that's true. He's got you there. You're right. You're right.
But it's like nobody out there looks sweaty. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a dry heat. It's what they always say. I don't think no matter where the Warped Tour is, I don't think anybody's leaving that place like without just smelling like shit. Just just what the worst swamp ass. I've never left a Warped Tour with somebody who smelled good.
Yeah, and you like the whole day you're kind of just like. All you taste is salt from the sweat that you've been that you've been just drenched with all day, and there's other people's sweat on you. It's a nightmare. Holy shit, it's a nightmare.
I mean,
and
so
I went like 4 years in a row.
I had a similar experience just watching Coachella from home. It was just me alone in bed, but I was sweaty and I was feeling it. It was an endurance test though. I was just like, I didn't realize that was what my weekend was going to be. Like I had plans. Those didn't happen. I'm just chilling in bed, like mystified at this event going on live on YouTube for free. I'm like, this is cool as hell. And I'm watching it. And I forgot who first caught my eye, but it was someone that I'm like, oh, I'm familiar with you. I kind of want to see you do your thing. And they did their thing and it was cool. Then they get into this like J-pop collective bit, and it's just a bunch of J-pop. And I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. I'm always a big fan of like the crazy ass visual effects and shit. And then all of a fucking sudden, Hikaru Utada comes out doing the Kingdom Hearts theme song, and I lose my fucking shit. I'm like, how did we not talk about this going into Coachella that she was going to perform the Kingdom Hearts theme song? Like,
between her and Danny Elfman, like this was Coachella for nerds. Like nerds were eating out here.
We were eating, and I didn't expect it. I didn't know that was happening, Matt. So I'm sitting here watching this, random people. So that performance ends. I just keep watching it. Some cool things happening, a lot of weird things happening. And then all of a sudden, Danny Elfman comes out. And I just want everyone to understand. I didn't know what Danny Elfman looked like. Did you guys?
I thought he was a band. That was like a 5-piece.
I thought he looked like Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. I thought that was just him.
I thought he looked like John Williams. He's a composer. They all look like John Williams, right? I did not expect this 60-year-old Adonis punk rock ass motherfucker coming out here shirtless, tatted head to toe, looking like a badass, straight up killing the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire theme, the Batman 89 theme, a whole bunch of other like Oingo Boingo shit like going through it. And then all of a sudden, the most badass version of the Simpsons theme I have ever heard in my life, including the sax solo that Lisa does, just fucking shredded. Like it was so damn hype.
Do you think Hans Zimmer influenced all of this?
Well, he did. He was at Coachella a couple years ago. So
that's what I mean.
Surely,
like because Hans Zimmer being at a concert was weird enough in itself. And I feel like Hans Zimmer's kind of maybe paving the way. Like, when are we going to see Michael Giacchino?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Giacchino, Randy Newman. Randy
When is
Newman
he
up
gonna
there,
pop up?
Coachella?
Yeah. Hello, Coachella. Like, when are we gonna see his bitch ass up there?
Dude, I would love it. But I was having a blast. And then seeing Billie Eilish kill it, I was just shocked how late it was. Because I'm sitting in bed. It is past midnight. And I'm watching this girl fucking kill it right now. There are people that have been there all day standing out there. Like, I can't even. I'm tired. But
we were
down,
in the Discord, and Michael's like, there's no way this is live, right? Because it was around 12:30 midnight-ish. I was like, I think it might be live. Like, I think this show goes on to like 3-ish in the morning, 2 in the morning or whatever. And we were just kind of stunned at the endurance of everybody there.
Oh, yeah, you're riding the high. That's right. I put a fun photo in our Discord, Andy, of Mike at Coachella. You might want to look at and laugh at it. It's a pretty good photo. But, Tim, I think of the fits. Andy brings up the fit. And for me, I'm always sun safety first. So the fit is going to be built around an umbrella. I am bringing an umbrella in. I'm that dude, right? Sure, Tim's getting me in the VIP Ultra Lounge, so I will be shaded most of the time, but I will build a fit around an umbrella. You know what I mean? And will I have multiple umbrellas for different days? Of course. That's what the fit's all about, right? But I envision myself in like a really dope vintage concert tee, maybe some old school Snoop Dogg, maybe a Tupac t-shirt, right? You never know what I could be fitting in. But then I think to myself, what's the bottoms? And I'm thinking some silk, shorts, some silk, something special type shorts brand. That's what I'm thinking right there. That's what I want. Light, airy. Let them out.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay,
Just do
yeah.
that.
Like, are you gonna have like an umbrella guy? Like, do you have like a dedicated like this is my umbrella? Or I was thinking maybe to like the umbrella hat that you see Newman rock in Space Jam. Or maybe no, Bill Murray rocks that. Bill Murray rocks that.
But the issue with the umbrella hat, Matt, is it doesn't cover enough. So you need the actual umbrella. And so now I feel like those old-timey, like dainty umbrellas that are really small, but they got the big circle. I don't want like the normal umbrella. I want one of those. And it has some cool floral print on it. Something that says spring, summer, fun. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking for.
Here we go.
Kevin,
We got over here.
Kevin has just brought up the
This is
generic
cool.
umbrellas, but
Yeah.
print on the inside, which I do actually appreciate,
Ooh.
Kevin. I kind of like that. I like that.
And that way you get 2 picks, Mike. You get the front of the fit pick with like the inside of the umbrella, and then the back pick with you looking over the shoulder.
It's like a
Ooh.
reversible
back-
jacket.
yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But you never know what could happen, right? Like I could all of a sudden be on a Ferris wheel. Tom Cruise could show up on the Ferris wheel. We do, Molly together. Who knows what could happen on the Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
I'm just saying that kind of moment could happen at these.
Very common occurrence.
Yeah, you say
I don't know.
who knows what could happen. It sounds like you know what could happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there. Putting it to the world.
Well,
Kev,
with you wanting to be real brave, Mike, that's just kind of like, the Coachella is the place to be brave with your fit. Just wear whatever the hell you want. Really.
Get out there with your fit is right.
Well, so that's the thing, Mike, is the trend that was happening this year at Coachella is kind of the really, really skimpy bottoms, but then with like a sheer kind of covering of some sort. And most of the best examples that I had in my mind were Instagram stories that are gone now. But Kev, if you can bring up what I just sent to assets, Vanessa Hudgens is rocking a variation of what I'm thinking for you, but I want these in pants form as opposed to dress.
Okay.
I don't want you wearing shorts. I want you wearing like trunks of some type, but then with pants that are like this cover thing going on where it's like sheer, but we're kind of getting in there, but you're still getting that sun protection on your legs because I don't want your thighs getting burned, Mikey.
That's a killer. Okay, Tim, I like the sun safety aspect and I like that vibe, right? We got to keep it light. We got to keep it airy, right? But we also have to be there. And I think that's the fun part is every year when Coachella happens, you see all of the influencers come out with their dope fits and you think to yourself, could I pull that off? Right. I saw a lot, Tim, of like vintage tees, like I said, Dior silky short shorts, and then like the shoelace headband around your head. You know what I mean? It was more about like getting groovy and like embracing that. Because Harry Styles, he came out. Did you see his outfit at all?
Yeah.
I mean, he brings the groove, right? He puts the groovy. So
That's what Harry Styles wears to the grocery mart. Like that's just
wild. It's bold.
It's just what he always wears. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we were talking like if I looked like Harry Styles, I'd wear whatever the fuck I wanted. Like I'd do the same thing he does as well. Isn't it kind of wild how Vanessa Hudgens is like, hey, COVID, just let people die, you know? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, that was a thing.
It's such a crazy thing that happened. 2020 was wild.
Oh,
It was a different time back then. It was a different time.
Matt, what would your outfit be?
So speaking of that, I was trying to send that to Kevin real quick because I have a specific one. Let me just post it in in the Kind of Funny Discord and we can grace everybody's presence with that in general. Because yeah, as soon as you said skimpy bottom, baggy up top, making a statement, I know just the outfit. I've already got it locked and loaded. And I think it's very fuel efficient. If you just think about,
I do like this. I do like this a lot.
This is what
It's a
Hassan
shirt that-
Piker wore.
Oh
straight
wow,
up, like-
no shorts. Oh wow.
very short shorts. You
That's
gotta let
awesome, man.
you gotta let the thighs breathe out
Get
there.
Guys
the
out,
hands
guys
up.
out. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm thinking about my sunscreen in this situation. All legs. Who cares what happens upstairs, right? You got the sunglasses to protect the face. You got the shirt to protect everything else. And I'm thinking too,
Fire.
going like 3 sizes like above your normal shirt size.
Yeah.
That way, if you fall off the Ferris wheel, something like that, you got a parachute with you. You never know what'll happen in the desert. So this is what
Everybody
I would rock.
knows. Everybody knows that one of the more annoying things to happen at a festival is to get like sweaty elbows. So when you cover up your elbows like you just did, I think you're prepared to be there for 12 plus hours.
For sure.
Tim,
for
could
sure.
we all go to Coachella and rock different X-Men long button-ups? Because that would be an absolutely dope look, right?
But
there.
pretend we don't know each other.
We meet each other there, like, whoa!
like,
guy.
like we're all kind of like standing just far enough apart to where it doesn't look like we're together. But then
Right.
people standing behind us would be like, this is
wait.
really weird. like,
Yeah.
like that guy's Wolverine. This guy's like Gambit. Like what's going on? Like, how do they not know each other? I think
love
that would
that.
be fantastic.
I love it all so much. And Matt, that shirt is just brilliant. Like, I love it. It is perfect for
Thank
you.
you.
Like, it reminds me, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, and I couldn't find the exact one, but my brother's favorite shirt growing up. And when I say that, I mean Cool Greg, when he was like anywhere between 10 and like 14, he wore this shirt 3 days a week. Like, it was the Cool Greg uniform. It's the same style of shirt, but it was Spider-Man, but it was a knockoff.
I've seen that
from
one.
Fisherman's Wharf.
Yeah.
So it was yellow Spider-Man.
even better.
And like he wore it without giving a fuck. He's like, "Yo, this is dope as hell."
It's a
this
variant.
yellow
It's a
Spider-Man."
variant, actually.
Exactly. It all makes he was ahead of his time, man. You gotta
Yeah.
respect.
That's
Cool
what.
Greg for
So
that.
yeah, this I assume this is an officially licensed X-Men Wolverine shirt from probably early 2000s.
Mhm.
And yeah, I found it at a thrift store, and it was just the find of all finds, to be honest. But yeah, like Cool Greg shirt, it sounds like the perfect level of local mall, or like just those local shops where you see all of the like Bart Simpsons, and just people just not caring at all about copyright issues. They're just like, yeah, I'm gonna make Bart Simpson smoking weed, and that's my shirt.
That's the shirt. Andy, what
Yep.
would your outfit be?
Oh gosh, I mean, I kind of want to go against the grain and maybe just like cover myself head to toe. Because
You should wear
everybody's
all
got
the jackets.
everybody's
Ooh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I'm thinking like a onesie of some sort. Like monocolor, right? Just like one single color onesie. Same color shoes, but then I'd have to put jackets on top. I just want to stand out and somebody be like, what is this? Like, this person's not clearly all there. This person needs help. Because everybody's wearing shorts. Like, if Tim would be wearing shorts out there, there'd be no doubt.
Well,
and
see,
Tim is
that's
not a
it's funny
short
you say
wearer.
that, because I would wear shorts, but I'd still be wearing my bomber jacket, and I'd just be complaining the whole time. But I'd still
okay.
do it.
I thought you were gonna say like you'd wear shorts but jeans underneath the shorts. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe it's just denim on denim on denim. I think that's maybe
nice.
the play. Yeah.
But Andy,
Denim,
what if,
a denim beanie.
what if you
So
had
good.
like a custom Iron Man, like one of the cosplay ones, suit made, and then you're just the dude walking around in like a custom Iron Man suit?
Oh my
I feel like that's a
God.
different way you
That
could
would be
go.
lit.
You know
Like
what I mean?
one of
lit.
Kevin, the ones that you see like on TikTok, like
Yeah, they
like
open
going-
up. Yeah, they open up.
Oh.
But like you've got, I don't know, some sort of cooling system,
Yeah.
right, to keep
Yeah.
you cool. But also you spray mist to keep your friends cool.
Oh, so
Oh,
I'm
shit.
on
Yeah.
You have like the
Yeah.
sound effect, like,
Yep.
and then it shoots a little bit of mist out.
It's just,
Dude.
it goes,
That would be lit.
and it's just like,
Ah,
I fucking got my eye.
I think that's
I
a great
love
idea, Kevin, because that's definitely a conversation starter. You're gonna be like, "Wow, did you see the guy in the full Iron Man costume? Yeah, he was next to all the people with the X-Men shirts. Like, it's immediately a conversation starter. I think that works great.
Kev, can you bring up what I just said? Assets. I have found Cool Greg's shirt. Everybody, you
Yeah,
can buy
give
it
me one
right
second.
now on eBay for $46.95.
Oh,
that's
Oh wow!
horrifying.
High price,
That
high
is
price.
awful looking.
Wait, where did you send it?
I said it's
Assets.
assets.
This
But,
is ugly as fuck.
Wait, what? Oh, there it is. Sorry, I saw
Okay.
the last. Okay, wow. God, it's crazy.
Do you remember
Yeah.
Oh,
this?
I've
Kevin?
seen this one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
this
of
is
course I
nice.
remember this. I remember this very well. But just so
Yeah.
you know, the links are all messed up in assets. So when I opened it, I was like, "What? This is
This
definitely
is
not
what I
it."
wanted for Andy.
Yep.
But yeah, I
This
remember
is
this very
so
well.
ugly.
Honestly, do you think if you bought it for him without telling him and you just gave it to him like next month, he'd get a kick out of it?
He would be so stoked.
love
Timmy
it.
should do that.
Absolutely.
Here's the
yeah.
thing
I
you
don't
do,
think he's a
Tim.
men's size 15 though.
Tim, here's the thing. You buy
Yeah,
it and
he
you put
is.
it in his closet without saying, like, don't even tell him.
Oh,
And just
make him
see,
feel it's
like,
always there. Yeah.
he may not know. Like, to him, maybe it just been there and he, like, missed it, you know?
Ooh, Tim, what if
slacked
what
him
if
a link
you
to
you try
I
and
just
trick him with the
go for that.
if you try and trick him with a time travel situation. So he wakes up one day, you lay the clothes out for him, all right? You have that, and then whatever else he would have worn as a kid. You put on like, some
Wheelies.
old cartoons on TV. You put on Brink on TV. And
Great
like
choice.
you get the like YouTube version with commercials where it's like playing, some Polly Pocket commercials or something else going on.
Oh,
And then
Polly
and then
Pocket.
and then you like honk like a school bus outside or something like that, and you're trying to get him to get
You
on
pretty
the
much
school
just
bus.
described my brother's life. Like that is what he does. Like he's just watching the most bizarre things at all
Yeah.
times. Like quick story that I love so much. Like every once in a while, my brother will come into the theater and like just knock on the door, and it's this like frantic like pop his head in like, Tim, can we talk about something real quick? And I always have this moment of like, all right, is this about to be a serious thing that I have to bail someone out of jail? Or is it going to be the most bizarre story I've ever heard? Luckily, it was one of those times this weekend. But he comes in and he goes, hey, man, I've been learning a lot from my time at KindaFunny. Like, I didn't really know that everyone hated the Star Wars prequels, but like now it's really clear. I understand that. And I didn't really know that people didn't like Jurassic Park 2. But then I watched it with you last week, and like I have to say I kind of get it. But I didn't know that. I just rewatched My Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and like, do people think that is like really bad too? Because like it's not as good as I remember it. And I'm like, dude, like I just want you to understand, like I don't know anyone's opinion on that movie because like like a lot of people have seen it, but like it's not being talked about in the same way as Jurassic Park or Star Wars.
His whole worldview has changed.
Right. The biggest franchises of all time.
Yeah. And then he starts breaking it down. He's like, no, hold on. Hear me out. Like it just doesn't make sense. Because this kid loves vampires, and he finds out his mom's going on a date with one, and he doesn't really care. I'm like, I just fucking love you.
That's the analysis we need. Yeah.
It makes
But
me want to watch it.
I slacked my brother the eBay link when we first brought it up, and his response was just, "Bruh, goated. Damn, quick $50. Good for them. They deserve it." Oh, and on that note, real quick, I want to tell you about our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Credit Karma. Are you earning credit card rewards? Credit Karma can help you compare your reward options so you can find a card that fits your lifestyle, helping you earn miles or cash back for spending you're gonna do anyway. I've been using Credit Karma for years. It's such an easy way to just keep track of my credit score and make sure that everything is going fantastically with so many great features. Credit Karma uses your credit profile to show you offers that are tailored to your financial situation. Credit Karma partners with a wide range of card issuers so you can be sure that you're exploring all sorts of options. Comparing cards on Credit Karma is 100% free and it won't affect your credit score. And best of all, Credit Karma uses your credit data to show you your chances of approval before you even apply, helping you apply with more confidence. That is an awesome feature. Credit Karma, create your own karma. Ready to find the card for you? Head to Credit Karma and check out your personalized mix of offers today. Go to creditkarma.com or the Credit Karma app to find the card for you. That's creditkarma.com. Now that we're back, Andy, do you think it's time?
I think it's time. We've stalled enough.
Finally.
We've had different combinations of people on the show. It's never gonna happen. You know, the time we get a good combination, we have a death in the family. It just feels like it's the law. God's working against us, Tim. All right.
So for the last couple of weeks, we've been teasing a topic that honestly is not that big of a deal. It was just more a thing
Not
of
at
we
all.
wanted the right group of people together to talk about it. And that group of people could be many different things. But today we had this rare occurrence where Nick and Greg both bit by snakes, which left me and Andy. So it's like,
The
who's
two-headed
crew?
snake each side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They were
What are we
walking
gonna do
together. Yeah.
on this podcast? And it's like, well, we're the ones that first talked about the topic. So that makes sense. But who are we going to assemble to really make this happen? And then, of course, it fell into Mike. Mike's always a good time, the Kind of Funny podcast. But it was like, Matt Batson is going to be perfect for this topic for many reasons. So, Andy, I defer to you. Please explain.
Yeah, Matt will definitely understand this quite a bit. Because one of my favorite shows, the Dan Le Batard show, happened to make a musical. And people say, "What? A sports radio show making a musical? What the hell can that even be about?" And they made a musical about the Super Bowl. It's 12 different songs, all in different sort of variety of sounds and genres. It's not just like a rock album or a pop album. There's a lot of different variety in music there. And they had a music producer help them out and writing all the different the different riffs and different melodies, and they wrote it about the Super Bowl. And it's not only a musical about the Super Bowl, it's about, there's a lot of like their inside jokes as well. Like if you get the show, you get the show. And I sent this to Tim and I was like, you got to check this out, man. Like you just have to listen to this one song and then wait for the reprise, because when that shit happens, like it hits and it's shockingly really good. Like even though maybe 2 of the 11 or 12 singers on there can really sing and the other 10 are just like not very good, they just don't sing ever. Everybody's auto-tuned, so it works anyway. But it has no business being as good as it is. And I sent this to Tim, and then a couple days later, Tim was like, "Man, I hate that they did this because I wanted to do this." And I was like, "It's okay. I steal shit from them all the time, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And then Tim was like, "We got to kind of, what could the Kind of Funny musical be, right? It would be about video games and pop culture, but it would also have all of the inside jokes. So like, where do we want to start, Tim? What kind of songs are we thinking? What kind of genres are we playing to? Are we going to base I see this topic, Tim, very similar to the Kind of Funny theme park, which I
Yes.
think we absolutely crushed. That was like such a fun topic that we had. But like the Milk Mommy song, is that a Celine Dion type ballad? Like,
Mhm.
is that, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like where the wheels got to start turning right here, right now, as we plan this out.
And I love that. That's exactly where I want to start, because anytime Andy recommends that I listen or check something out, I always do, because he knows me, he knows my taste very well, and 10 out of 10, anytime he recommends something, it's always fire. So for this, I knew it was a bit of a stretch, because it's like, all right, I don't like sports, I don't know Le Batard's inside
I
jokes,
don't
like,
understand the
know
sports
that stuff.
references. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like, I'm really just going off the pure hype and the musicality of it all. And it's only like 30 minutes or something, like 36 minutes around there. I've listened to this thing front to back at least 5 times since this has happened. It is hype as fuck. I love it. And it's like, even if you don't get it, you get it, because it's just so good. I can't believe the quality of music that they produced. It is just such a fun time. So I was like, what could that be for us? Achievement Hunter, a couple years back, they did a musical as well. And it was kind of just less of a story, less of a narrative, but more just like a bunch of songs about their day-to-day lives and all that stuff. I feel like the Kind of Funny version would have to be some type of a mix of the two. But what this Le Batard thing did for me is prove that you need the cohesive story to make it a true musical and not just a collection of songs.
Right.
So
exactly.
I think one thing that we need to keep in mind is I think we're going to do a great job of coming up with the individual songs and styles and potential guests and all that. But what is the overall narrative? What is the story? Do you guys have any ideas?
That's
for
kind of
sure.
where I'm
Yeah.
blanking, honestly, because you know, the Super Bowl musical that they made, I think starts off with the perfect tone where it's Dan singing in a very musical-like fashion where it's more talking and acting, right? But he's talking about concussions and it's human cockfighting and it's these bodies being fucking bruised and beaten down for decades. And it's immoral. All of this is terrible what we're watching in the NFL. And ooh, the witching hour, 3 p.m. Like, oh, this is a great time to watch the NFL. Like, immediately your mood switches because you just kind of like throw all of that shit aside because you just love watching football and you kind of are able to, you know, compartmentalize all the bad, immoral stuff happening in the league to like, oh, this is great stuff. Even though they're blackballing people who speak out against police brutality. Oh, I love football. Big Hail Mary play. Like, you know, you just kind of like forget all that shit. So they have like a through line through all of it. And I don't know if it's something that it's even kind of funny related. Maybe it's MCU versus DC, you know, like it could be something, it could be just DC as a whole, right? Like I think that would get people in and kind of interested. I'm not sure. There's a lot of different ways we could take this.
That's good, Andy, because I was going from the other perspective, though I think more obvious perspective of what's our Super Bowl. Obviously,
E3.
E3, right? Like that's so there is that. But I think the Marvel DC thing might be even more relevant. But Mike, Matt, do you guys have any ideas about potential through lines? We don't need to commit to anything.
No, I don't have any. I'm the worst one to ask, but I do like that we're getting the ball rolling and brainstorming. Because of course I went to let's tell the origin tale.
You went to Coachella,
Funny, right? Like it's like I'm over here still in Coachella mindset right now. But I thought, we're gonna tell the origin tale of Kind of Funny, and we'll go through the lineage. But I like what you two are getting at, finding a different through line. So I'll continue to think about it. But no, I have no idea. I'm still in Coachella.
E3 is a great idea, Tim. Like we could have the ballad to Keeley.
Oh
we
my
could
God.
have, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of we could have one of us playing Keeley, or we could even get Keeley to guest at one point.
Wow, yeah.
E3 the musical by Kind of Funny.
And it's not too
Be awesome.
self-indulgent either. You know, you're expanding your horizons to all the gamers out there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's like I almost feel like being realistic about this. We could probably make an actually better product if it was less about Kind of Funny and was more about one of the things we're experts in. And I would say we are experts in E3. That makes a lot of sense. But that's a lot less fun for us.
But it'll have our inside jokes and everything.
Right.
There's a one of the songs in the Levitar thing. It's called All In, and it's just about being all in for the game. I'm all in, and at one of the verses, Stugat says, "Will we say God bless football?" And then you hear Billy in the background say, "God bless football, Stugats," and because God bless football is one of their podcasts, and so. It's still about football, but if you get the show, you get that, right? So there could be a lot of those Easter eggs for the Kind of Funny fans.
Yeah. And so I'll go with where my head was at originally, but I think we can pivot because I really like this E3 idea. So I've thought of a similar idea, but instead of Lebitard's show, which I very much enjoy, I was inspired by the Lonely Island Bash Brothers. And I'm not talking about Bash Barrett and Snowbike Mike. I'm talking about Bash Brothers Lonely Island Experience on Netflix. An incredible
so
I wouldn't even call it a music video or a musical. It's just a series of music videos with a through line. And similar to Lebitard's show, and why I think that this works is like the joke isn't even the jokes. The joke is that they went so hard and it's so good.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can pull a similar thing off.
That's a big level of, I think, entertainment from the Levitar thing as well, is like even if you aren't understanding the jokes, you're you're kind of laughing at how professional it is.
Yeah.
And how well crafted the musical is, and all of the interludes going from one thing to the next. Like, how did they fucking pull this off? You know, like
See?
that's a level of
Mhm.
that's a level of entertainment in itself.
And that's what I'm most excited about for this, because if there's one thing Kind of Funny's really, really good at, it's acting like we're way cooler than we are and make
Right.
way more money than we actually do. So I know what our new studio is going to look like. A lot of people don't know what the new studio is going to look like, but I do. And I know the dope shit we're going to be able to make in it. And we're going to be able to make some really fucking cool musical shit. And on top of that, we have the musical stylings of Carter Harrell. We have limitless possibilities, man. I give him 2 hours to give me a Kind of Funny jingle version of any franchise, and he's already fucking there. He doesn't even need to have seen the movies. He's like, I just know. I just have it in my head. I have this knowledge. I bet you if we gave him like bigger tasks, he'd be able to knock it out of the park. Like, I think we can get a full on epic.
Yeah, like we're talking
sure.
about how talented Carter Harrell is, and I already played this last week on In Review, but for me to kind of, I wanted to surprise Tim with this, and I said, hey, can you make a music background for Rank Those Abs, which is one of our podcasts within a podcast where we rank just the sexual, really strong abs of various actors. And all I told, this is what I told him. I said, let's see. I talked to him about jazz drums, jazzy piano, stand-up bass, and like a drums using brushes instead of drumsticks. That's like kind of the vibe I'm looking for, loungy, you know. And he was like, "All right, sounds good, Matt. I can get it to you by like a couple weeks, maybe." I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good." I was like, "Whenever you got time, it's no rush." And then he immediately hit me back the next day and was like, "All right, I did it. I already made it for you already," and it is absurdly good. And like, this is the level of quality we're talking. You all have heard all the intros. This is just like something off the fly. Were they born in labs? Now it's time to rank those labs. He's too fucking good. The
Any
talent,
genre, dude, anything.
Any
man.
genre?
any genre, right? Just like any sort of influence. So I know that it's there. Like I've to go along with this, like I've had a lot of songs in my head that I've wanted to do that I just never got around to, because there's just a lot of like more work that would be involved if I wanted to actually do a whole song. And I fucking hate music software so much. But like there's a lot of different ideas that I've had stewing that I know that I could team up with him on and be like, here's kind of the vision that I've been seeing. I have like all the boy orgy boy band songs that I've been wanting to do that like could finally come to life here. So like there's limitless possibilities.
The one idea I've had for a very long time, and I'm excited to debut it today to all of you listening, because one day this is going to happen. And I don't know to what extent it's going to happen, because like, if I'm being real, I'm shooting for the moon with it. I'm shooting real high for this one. But every Kojima Productions game has a theme song. And more often than not, they're just all-time bangers, sang by the one and only
God damn, dude.
Donna Burke. Donna Burke is the woman that sang Snake Eater, Heaven's Divide, Calling to the Night, that song. I don't know what it's called. The Phantom Pain theme song. She did all
It's
of
called
those.
Wahoo.
Exactly. And my favorite thing about it is that it is always just the most extra orchestrated composition. Like there's just so many instruments. It's going way too epic. It just never stops. And then she's wailing, belting out like the most beautiful voice ever, saying the most inane lyrics of all time that don't quite add up to anything real, but like it just builds a vibe. I want to write a song with Andy that is just nonsense about Kind of Funny and have Donna Burke sing it over a beat
Like
that is
intro
like
it.
that epic. Yeah, like
Intro.
it might be an interlude. It might be, I don't know what it is to bridge this thing, but like I want it to be the most over the top, like 15 out of 10 epic. Donna Burke sang Metal Gear Solid style theme, but about something in this musical. I just don't know what yet.
I
I'm
have
in.
a
I love it.
couple, Andy, that I'd like to add. I could see Boy Orgy maybe coming out and like shilling energy drinks, going to E3 and PAX. There's always the Bang booth, right? And as Tim brought up, a lot of energy drinks. So I could see Boy Orgy maybe
Bang
singing
energy
something
drink, by the way,
about,
just
you
to
know,
clarify.
Yeah.
energy drinks. And then the other one was, did I say banging? Who knows? Who knows? I'm in Coachella. Don't worry about it.
He's
I'm
in
going.
Coachella mode. Yeah, it's a whole
Another
thing.
one is like
The
the
whole thing.
U.S. Army and sponsoring like esports events and all these different things. Maybe you could get something about the Army,
Oh, I
you
like
know,
that.
doing stuff like that. So those are things that like popped into my mind right there.
I got a solo song for me that everybody can kind of play off of. I'm backpack guy. I'm the backpack guy at E3.
Anything
And
you
like-
need, you pop in and out of any song. They're like, this song's missing. They're like, the song pauses. They're like, what's going on? Backpack guy.
Exactly. Like,
See-
you know what, Tim? Man, I got a headache right now. Well, you know who you should talk to? Backpack guy. Takanta backpack guy. Like, it just like becomes a whole little
Yeah.
fucking thing. And I'm like, what you all need, guys? And it's like, total musical
Dude,
vibes.
See, what I like about this, Andy, is I think that we actually keep that as a recurring bit where
Mhm.
everyone has a guy and they're all talking about you. It's always talking about backpack guy, but you're never there at the right moment until he needs you most.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you come and you give everyone the one thing that they need to accomplish their next goal.
You need Tums? Yeah, I got you.
I got you. Like, yeah, the story beats all need to go where like Greg Miller like gets like banned from E3.
Yep.
You know, Nick gets like a stomach ache or whatever, like all, or like Kevin gets a stomach ache, like all this type of stuff, and then you have the lactate for Kevin, and you have like the evidence for Greg. Like, he shouldn't be banned.
Don't worry, I got it right here, Greg. It's behind it's behind my antibacterial wipes or whatever.
I think the two other things I want to throw in here. You guys are freezing a little bit. Okay, we're back. The two things I want to throw in here, because I saw it in the chat, a very good point. E3 is dying, so I think maybe this is all wrapped around just a little candy wrapper around this whole thing. Is that it is a sci-fi experience in a post-apocalyptic world where aliens receive the last transmission of E3, and so they discover what E3 is. They have to come back and save us. And then the other thing, of course, as a musical connoisseur myself, we have to bring in Shirtless Spider-Man for Shirtless Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. And you say copyright issues, but we turn lights out. You can't see him. You don't know that it's Spider-Man, that it's his mask, but we know.
We know.
Turn Off
We
the
all
Dark.
know.
I'm thinking like also the like just Greg Miller Fog Machine moment.
Ooh,
Even though that was like a PAX thing, but still, like these could be
The
our
aliens don't know.
panels.
The aliens don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Remember when that kid took that White Claw to the face though during that PAX tournament? That was incredible.
I do.
Kid, bang right off the forehead. It was awesome, bro.
That shit was nuts.
Who are the aliens though? I feel like this gives us a very special opportunity to bring in like some guests. Like obviously we need to get like the biggest guest we can get that we have access to. So Cisco, right?
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. Cisco and Andy Serkis.
Match made in
Andy
heaven.
Circus. Yeah, the Fonz.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Definitely the Fonz.
See, what I do want though is we need to. Recently, we just watched South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut for the first time for me in like 15 years. And to anyone asking, does it hold up? Oh my god, more than ever. This is a 10 out of 10. Perfect film, my favorite musical of all time. And it does the thing that I appreciate so much in the song La Resistance, where it introduces a new song, but it's a song that is like a joke that only works for 20 seconds. Like you don't need we don't need multiple verses of this thing, right? And that's my thing. When it comes to musicals, especially like comedy musicals, we don't need full songs. Just give us like a nice chorus, a verse, a chorus, maybe a bridge, one more chorus to take us home with the key change, call it a fucking day, right? But what I love about La Resistance is that all its sole purpose was to be a Les Miserables parody. That joke was funny for a second, but then they used the rising beat to just bring back moments from all the other songs we've heard so far. You know what I mean? And then it all kind of comes together. Everyone's singing together. We get the beautiful screen kind of one person's face, like the Three Wolf Moon looking thing, you know, of people singing together and like all the different songs mesh in a medley. Beautiful stuff. I know I'm talking top level here, but this is how we need to be thinking when we're designing the songs that go into this, because we need to.
You got to start with the finale for sure.
Yes,
you got to start with the finale and then work your way forward.
Yeah,
or backward.
That's how you bring in that reprise. I'm thinking some sort of in jokes that could deal with the sex dungeon. Me asking Crash Bandicoot to come to the sex dungeon. Yeah, because some people, I see the Edwin Hernandez in chat says kind of funny saves E3. I think that's a cool concept as well. I just love the idea. I just love the idea of Keeley being involved somehow.
Right.
Like
So at this point, is Keeley the villain?
Possibly.
Wow.
But then do roles like from different
Yeah, he's got a
perspectives?
heart
Do
of
we
gold.
find out that like, actually he was
Both
the good
Greg
guy the whole time.
and Jeff's moms are both named Martha.
Exactly. And Jeff just being like, I would never ban you, by the way, from Summer Games Fest. Can we also call it E3? Like,
I mean, I don't know, right? Like, let's be real.
I mean, they
it's
gave
E3.
away people's info. Who cares?
Yeah,
They were just in
Space
Space Jam, you know? They were just in Space Jam and knew, like, I mean, you know, I think the name's just for free now.
Do you think Space Jam is what eventually killed E3? It's a good. I kind of forgot that they were.
That's the last time we ever saw it.
Wow, what a shame.
Wow,
Absolute shame.
I'd like to have a side story of Blessing. I think of Blessing getting so excited being hired on by KindaFunny,
Oh.
but then just slamming the door due to COVID, so he can never go to E3. So like,
Never gets
I
to
want
see
that
it,
like
yeah.
hopeful love song where he's hoping one day he'll go, but also it's really sad because he still has never gone. You know?
Because I
Sometimes-
saw
that
it.
sucks.
I mean, the hopeful's not bad. Like immediately, my mind went to, like a really kind of melancholy, somber R&B, Boys to Men type thing. I don't know why my mind immediately goes to American Dad, which like if y'all don't watch like any like Family Guy or American Dad, I haven't watched them in a while, granted, but I know that they always have really good songs whenever they do musical bits.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking
very
of,
similar to
"Daddy's
the It's So
Gone."
Funny.
Yeah, like they have a great little bit called Daddy's Gone where it's very like just doom, doom, got, and I don't wanna be again. Like it's just super like R&B-ish. And I just pictured that for Blessing's song of like being like, COVID's here, you know, what did I do to deserve this sort of thing? I think that could be a really great angle.
Like it. Yeah. If we're going back to like old school, one thing I've always wanted to do in a musical is stylistic rap songs. So not just like a rap song like we would imagine you do nowadays, but I want to do like a Beastie Boys rap song. Like I want it to be like clearly that kind of like, you know, the wow profile, wow, like that type of shit. So like we can do a thing of like the hypest reveal moments from E3. Like when the aliens are like looking back at the past, and we can like kind of like recap E3 from like 1996 to
why it was so
like
special.
2013, like all the best moments for it in a Beastie Boys style. I'd love that.
We could talk about the NVIDIA leak somehow. NVIDIA leak is like
Andy just
involved.
fucking loves the NVIDIA leak.
Key catalyst. It's a key catalyst to it all. Yeah, I totally
Final
hear that
Fantasy
though, Tim.
13 verses.
Exactly. Yeah, I can hear that though, Tim. Like the like they always have like that fucking break sort of beat.
Yeah.
I don't the trade-off rap, you know what I mean? Where it's like multiple people and they're just kind
Now
of
it's
like
my part.
finish
And
exactly.
and then I'm the guy who just repeats. I'm the guy who repeats the line.
Greg's got to have some sort of country song, I think.
Oh yeah.
Either a country song,
you nailed it.
Either a country song or what I think he's actually really low-key good at.
Extended dance break.
I was gonna say 90s grunge, like 90s kind of just rock. He has such a good ear for 90s rock. Whenever I'm stumped on a song, like, is that Candlebox or Soundgarden? Like, he's gonna know what band it is. It's always really shocking when he fucking knows the song. So, like, I think country's probably the better bet. But now I'm thinking, like, what sort of genres should each person have? What kind of, like, I think obviously boy orgy, we could do a boy band type thing. I'm thinking of some sort of like 80s metal with Nick, possibly, you know?
Oh yeah.
Something about how he doesn't want to be there, but he has to be there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, the video producers. Yeah, they don't even like video games. Yeah,
He doesn't want to go preview fucking Scooby Doo or what was the
Scooby-Doo
game?
DS.
Scooby-Doo on the DS. Yes, that was The bane of his existence. We'll need a cameo from Fran for that one.
Yeah. Well, Fran's definitely gonna want to be a part of it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, Fran's got the pipes.
Oh,
Fran
man,
can play
he's
guitar.
gonna sing Wonderwall, bro. He has to sing Wonderwall at the
We
end.
could, we could talk about how Fran like had his own hotel and he rented a guitar there for like
That is
13
a real story. Like, how
You
is
just
that
section
fucking
off
real?
you section off a part of the musical for like you. There's not a song for Fran. We didn't write a song for Fran. He just is here. And he's gonna play a song.
Dude. Oh,
I
that's
love
great.
that. I fucking love that. What
Now,
does Kevin do? What does Kevin do?
I mean, all of it, right? Like he's the glue. He's there the entire time. He
Yeah.
definitely doesn't want to be there, but also he wants to be there more than anybody. It's that like perfect combination of attitudes.
Why do
He
I
gets
picture
knocked
like
down, but he gets
polka?
up again.
I picture like polka as Kevin's thing.
Well, okay. Kevin and like Weird Al originals, like that really kind of works. You know what I mean? The songs that aren't parody songs, like that's just a Weird
That's
Al
just
song. Like I want to just give Kevin free reign to just do whatever the fuck he wants. Like maybe give him a subject and like see what ends up happening from it. Like he just writes lyrics, records them, and then we'll just give it to Carter and be like,
Figure it out.
He could be like he could just be himself. He could be Kevin, like in charge of the broadcast of the transmission to the aliens. You know, something goes
Yes.
wrong, and then Kevin pops in. He's like, "Okay, hold on," and then he just plays like the
one
same
second,
commercial.
one second.
Ad break.
So taking this in a different direction, potentially, that is a lot more dangerous for us to do, but also potentially a lot more funny for us to do personally. What if it wasn't E3, the musical? What if it was Games Media, the musical?
Ooh.
And then we just get to talk shit about everybody or praise people, depending on who we want to make the heroes or villains of this whole story. Because the reason I think about this is you talking to Matt, talking about like the video producers, like talking about the Nick Scarpinos of the world that do not want to be at E3, but are, and all of a sudden are like quit their job at IGN to go form a fucking YouTube company, Kind of Funny, that then have to go play video games and ask to invert the controls of a racing game.
He's special.
The right stick has to be inverted, even though it's a racing game. You fucking weirdo. God, I hate him. God, this is just a sidebar, but like today, today I recorded my first voice memo in the general Slack channel at work, and I said, "Hey, can you all record an audio bit for me and send it to me? Here's how it goes." And I gave everybody an example. And immediately, like, Greg sends his version of it. Tim says his version. Because I need as many versions of it as possible from as many different people. And then the message from Nick says, "Hey, Andy, can you let me know how to send a voice memo here? It's Nick." And that's it. And it's like, you're not even here. You're not in town right now. You're gone doing something, God knows what. And this is what you have to give me. Please just stay away from work. Like, I don't want you here right now.
I don't want to send this to you.
So immediately I deleted the thread because I just didn't want him. And then immediately, of course, I put the I really hate that man gif. I had to.
Yeah.
Because I truly do hate that man. When it actually, let me see if I can play it here. Yeah, I think I'll be able to play it. 1 second. Here we go.
It's funny, like from the outsider's perspective, like only dealing with Nick a little bit, like on the TikTok side of stuff and the merch side. He's just like super respectful and like not down to. And it's just, it's like, I know who you are, man. I know.
Yeah,
like you're not fooling me.
Here it is.
Andy, how do you record a voice memo on iPhone? Call me back.
He got farther than me. I'll give you that. He got farther than me.
Mike, how did you not do it?
I don't know. I'm in Coachella mode. I don't know how to do it.
Mike was the first to respond, by the way, who said,
I'll get that.
"I'll make it happen ASAP."
Super Bowl weekend.
I didn't know how to do it.
2 hours ago.
See, it's so funny working with all of you jackals in different ways, shapes, and forms. All of it, like it is funny how like my blood boils when certain people do certain things, and it boils in different ways. And there is something about the voice Nick just used that like triggers me in a way that like it. it elicits a smile and hatred at the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time, you know? And it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
that is like the worst part of all of it. But to give you turn this positive, Andy, giving you a compliment. The way you asked for what you needed is my favorite thing ever. Because Andy made a voice memo explaining exactly what he needs done, who he needs to do it, how he needs it done, and then over explained an example of this is exactly what I need. And I'm like, thank you. That took you all of 10 seconds to do. And now there's no questions. We don't need to go back and forth texting and all this shit. It's like, no, here's exactly what the fuck you need to do.
Emulate
and then,
me.
Yes, just emulate Andy Cortez. Everybody bring the little talent you have to match the extreme talent he does, and then he'll make your bullshit talented. And I listened to the final version. I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard. How did Andy do that? So we have the right squad for the musical. That's all I'm saying. But we need to rely on Nick as little as humanly possible, except allow him to come in with those beautiful fucking pipes.
No, you
I
know
am
what?
shocked at Nick's voice.
No, I
Oh,
disagree
beautiful.
because the amount of times that we would be strapped for like time and content and confidence in KFAF, and we're like, what's this song cover gonna be? And Nick would do a lot of work to his credit and would come back with, hey, these are the lyrics I've been working on. And I'm like, I've got no notes, man. This is great. Like, you fucking killed. Maybe switch this for that verse so this has more impact here, like punchline wise. But this is perfect. And he brought it every time we would do a song cover. When it came to Hello, Kevin, my old friend, where we apologized to Kevin.
Never mind.
When it came to the
Andy,
the Starbucks song, you know, what's up, Kev?
I kind of miss his little piano.
I miss his little piano for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot that was a thing. Like that thing, Kevin. How long do you think that thing's been gone? Like in a wasteland.
I guarantee you. I mean, the first like 6 months of COVID, they were hard, right? But I guarantee that D like maybe gave him 2 weeks of him like hitting random notes like he used to do because he refused to wear headphones, and it just didn't. And she was like, "Throw it out."
What was the song? What was the? Well,
The Thanksgiving.
It
Oh,
had,
you're talking about on the keyboard. Yeah, yeah.
it had a
The,
pre-recorded thing, right?
Joy, yeah.
Oh my god, I fucking
Ode
hate
to
it. So
joy.
much. I forgot that was a thing, Kevin, until you
Yeah.
reminded me right now.
I
But
did
like,
too.
yeah, when we talk about like we can't rely on Nick, like no, we definitely can because he has a lot of talent when it comes to just thinking of really dumb lyrics that are gonna make people laugh. The pumpkin spice latte song, the apology to Kevin, and we had a couple of other things that never saw the light of day.
Thanksgiving
But yeah,
banger, of course.
Nick could bring it.
Although
Nick could
that's
bring it.
mostly you, I assume.
Yeah, he could
The-
he could bring it though.
I mean, unless we forget all the Nick IGN classics where he would just like talk about the plot, the origin of In Review, when you really think about it, where he would just do the plot of things to the theme song, but just off the top of his head, and then would just include my name randomly. Where like we did the Star Wars like director audition video before episode 7 came out, and he ends that, he's like, skidoo, 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 Star Wars, Star Wars, Tim thinks this could be cool. It's like, thanks, Nick. Thank you for all of this. Or at Up at Noon, when he found out that Pharrell was going to do a song, not even
The
the theme song, just
Spider-Man. The
a
Spider-Man.
song in Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, well, Pharrell also did the song for the what was it?
Despicable Me.
Yeah, the happy. And so yeah, because I'm happy. Da, 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 da. And all he did for Up and Down was because I'm Spidey. Like that was his gift. That's all of
Like
us.
every once in a while it works. I guess I'm gonna lean more towards him and go like, we can't be fully dependent on him, like to think of something great. Because sometimes it
Yes,
is just
fair.
like, oh God, stop.
As a student of Nick Scarpino, and I was a fan of everybody back in the IGN days, but it was definitely, more the Greg side of things. But when I would go through and do like the Doritos videos or just really kind of any edit and I'm looking for footage of Nick, you go down a rabbit hole of all these weird IGN videos that either you didn't see or you forgot about. And it's just an absolute delight.
I
Whether
mean,
it's something like
there
that
was
or
it was
the
an
one that
era
gets
in
shared
the
is the
time.
Donkey Kong one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kevin. It's been long enough that we haven't shown the Donkey Kong video on a KF podcast.
I'll find it.
So please, if you can find that, I'd really, really appreciate watching it again right now.
Mike, didn't we watch it on a morning show?
I was just gonna say we recently watched that because it is funny. You know, you think about Nick and the whole team, right? And like everybody has these things. Then all of a sudden I'll be like talking to Nick and I'll forget, right? Like to me, Nick is 22. We're living the Coachella vibes. But then sometimes it's like, oh shit, like what did you do? And he's like, oh yeah, I did this back in the day. And like we watched some crazy stuff together, me and Nick. I love it. I love it.
You forget about the lineage. You forget about the history there.
Mhm. Yeah.
There's a lot
do
of
your
things
homework.
that you'd rather didn't exist.
But the videos are still there.
We need the
this.
audio of this, Kev. We need to start from the beginning and go all the way through.
I love this.
Here we go. What's up, IGNers? I'm here hanging out with the Donkey Kong monster truck, and it's badass. Woo!
It's the woo, man.
These tires and
It's
rims
the
cost like
clipping
$700
woo.
a piece. Damn!
I love that he's still wearing the North Face jacket too all these years. Just still
This
holding
sucker's got a
on.
MagnaFlow exhaust on it, which means I can put one on my Honda or on my monster truck. There's someone in there right now. Let's take a look.
Oh, he's ripping Honda. Like his father before him.
What do they say about people with big ties?
God. God.
Useless. Like
so
The
special.
fucking look that says
was he
1,000
paid to
words.
do that?
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
a salary.
Wait,
Like,
so he was asked to do that? Like
no,
that wasn't a
no.
voluntary thing.
That was voluntary. It was an undeniably voluntary. I'm sure that was him.
Melissa
and Tyroon.
Hagler. Is this video shot in 1990?
You know, it's
So
it's funny
true.
she says that because like there was a moment in like 2012 where everything got real HD. Like HD was first introduced in like 2005, 2006 or whatever, but it was not a mainstream thing. And especially for the internet and especially with video cameras, like DSLRs changed the game. You notice that's not with a DSLR. So like it makes footage even more dated than it actually was because Fran fucking insisted they still use the broadcast cameras they were using instead of just switching over to what everyone else on the internet was using to like make it have that like nice filmic look that now we're all just fucking used to. But they kept doing that for so long. And I love it because we'll watch videos from IGN from like 2014 and they look like they were shot in the 90s. Like they have that fucking vibe to them, which makes them better because of how stupid the ideas were that Fran and Nick just all came up with in their free time. Not free, they were very much being paid by Fox Entertainment.
That's shocking.
What a time.
What a time. Do you have any final music ideas for the musical?
I can't really. It's mostly just the genres that I think are going to take a lot of brainstorming, because you want it to feel like there's a variety there, right? You can't have a lot of the same sounds. You got to have like max 2 rock songs. I'm thinking maybe a Tejano song where I sing in Spanish. Kevin, I'll need you to help me with the Spanish. And then obviously country. We'll need a jazz thing. Yeah, pop, hip hop. There's a lot of different genres you need to hit for sure.
You brought this up
I'm
earlier,
thinking like,
but
go ahead.
the ballad I think is important because you can only have one real powerful ballad. In the South Park movie, they have Up Here, where the devil wants to get to the surface and is tired of Satan not loving him enough and all that. We need to find what is that for Kind of Funny, you know, and we can't fuck it up. Like that has to be the most important moment of the entire thing. Matt,
That's
what
the
were you gonna
record
say?
seller. Yeah.
I'm thinking something we didn't touch on. We got to have like costume design, you know, is going to be very important, very key to this whole thing. I'm a big fan of, you know, having way too many people on stage, too many extras. So like when, you know, they're up there doing Sony PlayStation 2013, 14 conference, we have like a someone in a PlayStation 4 costume on stage. We have a little DualShock 4, you know, man running around the stage. We just got to have plenty of those, you know, because I think every kid's favorite thing is, you know, being the tree in a play. So if we can create that for a whole lot of boys and girls out there, I think that'll be perfect.
Solid.
I like Matt Batson
Solid.
thinking about the kid. How do we get the economy booming? How do we give jobs to the kids out there?
Free labor, yeah.
Tree labor.
There
all
you
right.
go. There you go.
So, Matt, thank you very much for joining us for your first episode of the Kinda Funny podcast. Everyone, let us know in the comments below how much you love Matt and what your favorite thing that Matt has ever done that you know of. Because there's a whole bunch of them. If you don't know, you should go check out Matt Batson and his YouTube channel, which is
youtube.com/Matt Batson. I'm pretty sure I have that. I'm pretty sure that leads to me. Yeah, you can see the Grabbler video, the boy orgy documentary trailer, I was just gonna say
the Michael Jordan one is one of my favorites, probably.
Yeah, it's so many other fun stuff like that. I'm on Twitter at Matt S. Batson, and of course visit twitch.tv/GinoVii.
There you go. Check it all out there. We're about to do the exclusive post show for patreon.com/kindafunny. But for everyone else, I love you all. Goodbye.